Hi, it's Sherri from A Quilting Life, and I'm here today to share some works in progress. We are in the month of April, so I'll call it April Works in Progress, but a lot of these things I actually kind of started last month and just haven't had time to get it all together to show you. But I'm super excited to show you what I've been working on, and really importantly, I'm sharing how our Strawberry Lemonade collection works so beautifully with our Laguna Sunrise collection. So I hope you enjoy seeing a little bit of what I'm working on. I've got a couple new table runners that I'm working on, a little mini quilt for a stand, and just some other fun things to share with you today. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, as you can tell, I've been sewing with a lot of bright and happy colors. I'm super excited to share a bunch of these works in progress that I'm working on. This first one, actually, hopefully I'm sure I'll have this done by the time this video airs, and we'll pop up a picture of it after it's quilted. I just took one of my little tulip blocks from my tulip and vine pattern, and I put a couple borders on it, and I have one of those wire tabletop quilt block stands that I'm going to put this on. And I'm just gonna quilt on my home machine, just some little wavy lines, or maybe even straight lines. I haven't decided yet, but quilt those lines, get it bound, and put it on that little tabletop stand just to have in my family room. So I will have a picture of this before this video airs that will pop up for that. So that's just a little project I'm doing to add a little brightness into my family room. This is actually another table runner that I'm working on, also using Laguna Sunrise fabrics. And oh, I forgot to mention, the tulip is Laguna Sunrise, but the greens are both from Strawberry Lemonade. So you can kind of start to see how these collections really do work so beautifully together. This one is all Laguna Sunrise. It's going to be a little table runner that I need for a little small area. I've actually been kind of mixing my Laguna Sunrise and Strawberry Lemonade quilts and projects as I've kind of decorated a little bit for spring in my home, and I'm just loving how they all go together. So this one should be showing up soon. I should get this finished pretty quickly as well. This one is actually kind of a secret project, but I thought I could show you this part of it at least. And I'm actually combining in this scrappy quilt Laguna Sunrise and Strawberry Lemonade again. So just to kind of show you, Laguna Sunrise, Laguna Sunrise, Laguna Sunrise, Strawberry Lemonade, Laguna Sunrise, Laguna Sunrise, Strawberry Lemonade, Strawberry Lemonade. So it just kind of gives you an idea of how the collections are going to work beautifully together. So if you have some Strawberry Lemonade scraps, hang on to them, because Laguna Sunrise will be in stores in September. And also the ordering period is just coming to an end, so be sure to tell your favorite shops that you want them to order Laguna Sunrise so they can be sure to have it. Okay, another table runner. This is actually going to be for my kitchen table in my kitchen, the table that we eat on every day. So it's kind of long because it's a long table, but I just had fun using Laguna Sunrise. And this will actually be a pattern that will be available by the time you get this video. You watch this video, you'll be able to get this pattern from my shop. And I also will have a picture that Billy can put of this quilted as well. So look for that. That's something else I've been working on. This next one is just my Blockheads 5, and there have just been a few since I shared this the last time, probably just the Laguna Sunrise blocks. Again, I was using Strawberry Lemonade for all of my early blocks, and once I was able to start using Laguna Sunrise fabrics, I started using them for my blocks. So you can see that this scrap quilt is going to have more than one collection. So this block used Laguna Sunrise, as did this one. And this one, this is one of my favorite blocks from this quilt along so far. It was designed by Heather Briggs of My So Quilty Life. And love, love, love that block she designed for this. And then pinwheel and a star. I'll show you just my most recent, because I know I showed last time I did a works in progress, I showed all the way up to the strawberry lemonade blocks. So pinwheel and a star. This is the block by Heather. And love this one. I kind of went with a red, white, and blue theme on this. I wanted to see how the Laguna Sunrise reds and blues played. And then love, love, love this one. I have to show you. It's such a different look. I went really scrappy for this, and with the small one, I thought I do not want to sew all these little tiny squares together. So I actually used strip piecing for my small blocks so that I wouldn't have to cut any little squares. And yeah, so I've been working on this. I've been keeping a week ahead or so, and that's been great. This I actually did show you last time, but I've got some progress to share. I'm making Amy Smart's Fly the Flag quilt, and I'm using Vanessa Gertson's Old Glory collection for Moda, and I have got my strip sets cut for the red and white stripes. So I'm actually going to set these on my sewing machine and just start sewing strip sets here and there together. And I do need to pull some more lights from my stash. My fat quarter bundle didn't really have enough, or I might even, some of the whites have more blues, so I don't know, I'm going to have to decide. I was going to sew these up and then just kind of decide which way I wanted to go for the rest of my light strips, because my stacks need to be the same size to make it work. But anyway, really, really excited about this. And honestly, for me, I feel like with this project, the hardest part was getting these cut so that now I can just set them on the table and get ready to sew. Okay, and finally, I wanted to show you some of my progress on the Hearts and Home quilt along that is being sponsored by American Patchwork and Quilting. I did an intro video, and I have had 2 blog posts now with tips and helps, and I will link both of those posts in case you missed them. But in the first blog post, I talked about my fabric selection, and I gave tips for making the star blocks and also the heart blocks. So, and I actually had videos to link to sewing the same star and sewing the same heart. So if you're just starting along with that quilt or need extra help, I know I've been seeing on social media there are lots of people that are already done with their quilts, and they are gorgeous. But I did have blog post number 1 talked about tips for these 2 units. And then I just also posted a blog post where I shared my house blocks, and I also talked about tips for these strips. And I'll actually just go ahead and just share a little bit of that right here with you. I'm actually making a 9-block runner if you haven't seen those not 9-block wall hanging, sorry, if you haven't seen those blog posts. But I am using my Laguna Sunrise fabrics, and I just thought 9 blocks with 3 houses, 3 stars, and 3 hearts would be super fun for me as I've been sewing along with that quilt along. So I got my first block done, but I'm really a lot further along than this makes it look, because I've got all of my strips cut. And this is kind of what I do for log cabins. I actually cut all the strips and I put them in stacks. So I cut everything to the exact measurement that this is going to be, and I really feel like that helps me keep my block on track, that my block is going to come out to the exact size, because if something starts not fitting as I'm sewing these strips, then I know that my seam allowance must be off, or that I must have cut something wrong. So what I like to do is I just cut all of my lights, and I put them in little piles so that there were no 2 low volume prints the same in each pile. And I also kind of, here those are in the same position, but I also tried to kind of vary in the final position which fabrics were in the first position. I feel like because of the number of lights, there were a couple times where I had to, have the same fabric in the same position, but right here. So, and there must be 2. In each position there must be 2. But anyway, got these in a stack. I did that first, and then I actually went and cut my colored strips, and I did the same thing. So again, different colors, and I tried to make sure, you know, there was a good amount of variance. I actually might switch this one because I just noticed it has 2 stripes. So, in fact, I'm going to switch that right now while I'm thinking about it, because I feel like the stripes are kind of bold, and I don't want 2 stripes in the same block. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so I don't want to have more than 1 stripe in each block. Okay, so there I go. So then when I get ready to sew, I'll just pick a block, a center, I'll grab a stack of these and a stack from here, and I'll just start working my way around for my log cabin block. So this is the way that I did my original quilt, and this is the way I'm sewing with my wall hanging, and really the hard work is done because I've got everything cut out and ready to go for those other blocks. Okay, so that's it for my works in progress for this month. I will link everything that I can in the description below, patterns and all of that, and hope that you are getting some spring sewing done as well. I know it's really making me feel the spring spirit, I guess I would say, to be sewing with these brightly colored fabrics. If you enjoyed today's video, please share it with a friend, hit the like button, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much for stopping by.